Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, welcome to This Week in Base Hit. I'm your host, Zubaz, joined, as always, by my co-host, Citizen Clone. Clone, how was your week?
Pretty good, man. It's pretty good. Whenever you
Good.
ask me that, I can't remember a damn thing. I freeze up. I can't remember my week at all, but I'm generally in a good
The
mood.
weeks go by, man. How many of these shows have we done?
I don't know, 15, maybe more. Probably
No,
more.
definitely a lot more than that.
25?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
25.
yeah,
Okay.
dozens.
You said
Uh,
you were going to bring up a player.
no, no, no. Now, before I bring up the player, I want to know if you've ever heard. I had a memory recently of back in my days when I was a little bit more wild, and we've never talked about it. I want to know if you have ever heard of, and then secondly, ever done 999 baseball.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
So for everybody listening, I bet at least one person out there has done 999 baseball. This is where you go to a baseball game, usually a minor league baseball game because you can be a little bit more lawless, but you have to eat a hot dog and have a beer every inning for all 9 innings. And surprisingly, it's the hot dog that becomes a lot harder than the beer.
Why are you
Uh,
thinking about this?
I was
We
thinking, well, I was
each
just
wanted a
having
hot
a
dog.
memory back to a Madison Mallards game. That's a minor league team in Madison, obviously, they're independent league baseball. And they have just like, it's just fun. The stadium's always
I went to a
packed.
game with you there.
We went
You
to
took
a
me.
Mallards game together.
Yeah, you took me to a game
Oh,
many years ago.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
you're
that's
actually
right. I remember. I remember we were sitting on the third base side. I
That's
do
been a
remember.
while.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Mike Schmidt
many.
was playing.
And Mike
There
Schmidt
we
was playing.
go.
There we go. He's
Put
in.
it all together.
No, no. But 9 beers is a lot. So you're hammered. And they stopped selling them after the seventh inning, so you have to plan around it and buy like the plastic
Yeah,
bottle.
yeah.
Like you gotta plan for it. But it's the hot dogs that kill you because initially your eyes are bigger than your stomach, and that first one you're covering with kraut and
Yeah, yeah.
toppings and stuff. And then by the time you get to like the fourth one, you're like, this sucks. But you got to force it down. You got to complete the 999. It's like the Mile High Club. You got to do it
You
once in
did
your
it?
life.
You did
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I did it. Yeah, yep. And I threw up violently later,
Yeah.
right outside the park. I didn't even get to my car.
Why did you just think about that? Did you tell me?
No, I thought about it because I have this Madison Mallards jersey, and I
Oh.
was I was going through my closet. I saw it, and I was thinking about Mallards. And all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh,
The memory.
999
Yeah.
baseball." I'm going to ask Russ about if he's ever heard of it. So
Uh,
that's it.
we
That's
should
all it
jump
is.
in. I want to talk Mike Schmidt. We're just gonna leave Mike Schmidt there. You got to talk about him another time. So you're gonna put a player up.
Yeah, I just threw up a player. I figure that's a guy we don't talk about much. He's like one of the greats that doesn't get talked about as much as like even some of the guys that miss the Hall of Fame, like Dale Murphy or something. Like Mike Schmidt does not get enough credit. So I just figure I'd give him a little love. I don't have any magical story about him. It's just Mike Schmidt. And I know it base hit. We got a ton of Philly fans. So Boise, Bobcat, the rest of the Philly crew, they're gonna be glad to see Mike Schmidt up there.
Boise, Boise alert.
Boise
Um,
Alert. Yep.
so I'm working on a tutorial for new people on player ratings. This is what I want to talk about. I wanted you and I to do a draft. We're also doing testing. Do a draft between us of if you were getting a player
Okay.
that was equal across everything else, but was great at one rating.
Yeah.
So you want first pick or second pick? We each get to pick our ratings,
And this is pitchers and batters.
pitchers and batters. Yep.
Okay. Well, what's the advantage to going second?
Nothing.
Okay, well then I'll go first.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. You got all. So you're looking at. Yep. This is a
Wait, do
full
I know
draft.
what position they play?
It's up to you. You're looking at a big list of players. You're in the dream world, and
Okay, so I can
you can
say,
decide what they're good at. Which rating are you paying attention to the
okay,
most?
so I'll take a shortstop that's 100 in range.
Okay, so range the most important.
Wait, just for shortstop.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
first thing overall.
Okay. Yep. You
I mean,
go.
I'm just thinking it's, people coming in new.
I
It's
just didn't
important.
want to say range because like otherwise then
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot.
People coming in new, like trying to give an idea of like what you care about. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yep. All right.
Um,
What do you take?
Range. It got hard already. Probably, I mean, I guess it depends on the sim model, but probably high finesse pitcher. I'll
Yep.
take the high, I'll take the high finesse pitcher
Yep.
for
The
the
reason I
classic
said range
model or
shortstop
high,
for
high.
all those new people is you're going to see a lot of experienced owners with high finesse pitching, but it's only if you have good infield defense because it creates more ground balls. So you don't necessarily want high finesse pitchers if you're in a max park with good outfielders. Like there's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, that's a good pick.
They go together well. I mean, I think I'm already winning this. I think if you have an ace pitcher,
Yep.
it's gonna matter more to you. Even I don't know. It's gonna pay off more than the ace shortstop overall. Maybe not.
But
Maybe
but
not.
but I just picked shortstop. You picked high finesse one pitcher, not whole team.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
All
right.
right.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm about to win it with my next pick.
Okay.
BA.
Really?
100 BA hitter. Yep.
Tell me more about that. I would not have guessed.
Okay, so now there's a theory behind this.
Yeah.
And it's that if you're only good at one rating and bad at everything else.
I didn't mean that you're terrible at everything else.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying.
I meant everything being equal. No, because we know
Oh,
that like a good
because
player that's great at something. Good player
okay,
that's great.
so that changes my calculus a little bit, but I do think it's worth telling newer players that if you can only be good at one thing, BA is a good thing to be. You're going to have to stash that player somewhere, but they're going to be so offensively viable compared to somebody that's just 100 DI or 100 slugging. 100 slugging gets very inconsistent. 100 DI, their total bases isn't going to be as much as somebody that's 100 BA. 100 DI is valuable, but it depends on who's hitting after them.
Let
I'm
me
getting way too down the rabbit hole.
let me change. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
clarify for you.
Okay. All right.
You've got good players across the board. You're getting one great player
Oh,
for your team.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
sorry. I didn't mean somebody that sucks at everything except for one thing. So you'd still stick with the great shortstop to
No,
start?
I would have gone with the pitcher then.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have gone with the pitcher for sure. I might even have gone with the pitcher twice because if they're good at everything, I have one great one and I could max out the Psy, I would probably do that too.
So but you would take first.
Yeah, I take finesse
Yeah.
before Psy. Yeah.
I'm trying to if I would take rant. I'll take the rant. I'll take the I'm saying good, I'm imagining like 70s, whatever. I'll take your shortstop then. All right. This is good. This is
Wait,
good
no.
radio right here. This is
You
good
keep
radio.
changing. You keep changing the parameters here because if they're just 70s, then it doesn't matter. You said like
Good.
eights, but like 70, 70, 70, 100 isn't necessarily an ace.
It's oh. uh,
You see what I'm saying? You should have thought this through more.
I'm really just trying to get at what I'm really trying to get at what
Like, what do
rating
we think are
the
important?
most.
Yeah.
What do you care about the most? So
I mean,
whatever.
well, and just to broaden that topic out,
We
range
both switched
is
off.
range is incredibly important defensive stat. I think glove and arm, depending on the position, are
Yeah,
the
don't skip
most
ahead. Don't skip ahead.
underrated
Don't
stats
we're in the
attributes.
draft. One
Okay.
of us is taking all right.
All right.
We've got good players, however you want to do it, and then we've got somebody that's great at something.
Okay.
You've got the finesse pitcher.
No, no, no,
Uh,
no. We're not switching. I got range. You got finesse. I got BA. That's what we
you've
drafted. We're
got BA,
sticking with it.
okay, and you've still
Yep.
got BA. I need
Yep.
to check your teams. I have been paying attention more to BA recently than I used to,
Yeah.
but it's
BA is important.
because of not being able to get the slugging. Uh, I feel
And
like you
really, to be perfectly clear, it's 95 and up BA. There is like a switch that gets flipped 95 above BA. where you can have those 360 um, on base percentage years where they're hitting 320, you know.
I'll take. God, man. I mean, I need to look at what we actually do with our teams. I guess I'll take the huge slugging
Oh,
guy.
that's what I was going to take. That's what I
I mean,
wanted.
I think we're both. First of all, well, whatever. If I look at your teams, I think slugging is your number one, two, and three.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
You're just
And
talking about like theoretically.
I mean, I used to be much more into slugging than I am now, but still on my team, you'll see a guy with like 30 to 40 discipline and BA and then 100 slugging because guys like those can change games and they're not super expensive. Again, I'm going too far down the rabbit hole, but like having a guy like that batting fifth or sixth, like he is going to strike out a ton and his on base percentage is going to be 292. But when he hits a home run, it will change the game.
I need to look back. I feel like if I'm looking at your team, you're gonna be all slugging all the time.
Not
But anyway,
anymore.
all
Not
right, so you
anymore.
got it.
Yep.
All right, so you've got your
Oh, you
your
got slugging, so it's my pick.
you've got range and you got batting on your team.
Yeah, so I need to this is where I got to take the side. I got to take the
Yep.
side here. So get my pitchers going. Um,
That's I think we've paid more attention to that recently. Or did you
yeah.
always pay attention to that?
No. I I still don't totally understand what specialty is. And I own the game, but I do know what its net effect is, and I think the most important effect is you can deal with lower EN pitchers because Psi isn't negatively impacted um, by EN like the other ratings are.
Yep. And or you just get a ton of innings out of a higher end guy. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, that's right.
neither of us we've already established. We know the results, but neither of us totally understand how these things work.
Yep.
All right. So you've got your pitching. All right. I guess I'm gonna take I've been going off of this, but I'll take discipline. I used to pay more attention to it. I used to just believe, and I still kind of do, that getting the walks and tiring out the other pitchers, but the pitchers don't tire out as much is the problem. But getting the walks to keep it going, that it'll pay off in the long run.
Um,
Um,
and you just hit on something that some of the most fun baseball players you'll find in base hit are high DI, high slugging guys because they're three outcome guys. They're going to walk, strike out, or hit a home run. And people make fun of me because I used to go on this rampage about strikeouts matter. And what I was saying is like strikeouts are good because
your
double
batter
plays.
strikeout.
Yeah, like because when there was this trend towards high finesse, high
Mhm.
range infielders, the best way to offset that was three outcome players because walks, strikeouts, and home runs have nothing to do with that infield. And that's where I had a lot of success in TCL back in the day.
Yeah.
Is small park, get just minimize the net effect and go. I was zagging back then.
Yep.
All right,
You're up.
my pick, and I'm going to go a little bit out there just for the sake of discussion, and I'm going to take control for pitchers. Uh,
Control is more important in the sim model in the free agent sim model, but anyway, go ahead.
in the free agent sim model, control is king, but I think control in general is an underrated attribute. I think it offsets a lot of the DI trend that's happening right now throughout base hit. Like, and I think Cardboard Tube's to blame for this, because like he had an all DI team that everybody like looks at, like he set the walks record for base hit with a team. So I think control is really helpful, but I wish I could pick two because you love to have the EN if you have a high control pitcher. But control, that's
I
mine.
think I'd tell you a controversial one.
Yep.
It also starts with CO. Um, I I've gone away. I used to have a bunch of high control guys. I've gone away from them, but we'll see. I will also go a little wacky, and I will take speed.
Oh,
SP, which I don't even want to talk about that much because I feel like it's been so underrated in the game, and I don't want to sell people on why it's important, but depends on what kind of game you're playing,
what
but
kind of stadium you're playing?
kind of stadium you're playing, what the rest of your team, but zig and zagging. I think you can get a lot of value of speed out there. You can get out of a bunch of double plays. You can keep the inning going. You get extra bases. I think that it
You
pays off more than people realize. But
you put a ton of pressure on the other team. Um, and
you make it
anybody that
less fun
watches
for you to
play by
watch the game.
play, anybody that watches play by play, if they're on the wrong end of a speedy team, it's so damn frustrating watching the other team take all these extra bases. Um,
I think that I think people undervalue speed because they just look at the stolen base numbers and they just take that straight up. But I don't think
yep,
that they're fully thinking about the
extra
lack of
bases.
double plays, how many people are getting, yeah, how many people are making it, um, getting the extra bases, everything that goes into it. But anyway, all right.
Uh, yeah. And then since you didn't take it, I'm going to take EN for pitchers. I'll leave EN for batters for you, but EN for pitchers, uh, incredibly important because it enables things like potential four-man rotations. It lessens the negative effects of power, finesse, control as you get deeper into games. You can I mean, it's the definition of a true ace is a 147 guy, and having a high Ian guy like that. So that's mine, Ian.
Like we should go back over these at the end, but yeah, that's interesting. Again, Mike, I'm thinking so much about how I've changed my ways of playing from how I used to play. I don't
Yeah,
know. Now I'm wondering if I need to go back to the old ways, but
yeah, maybe.
interesting.
There's
All
lots
right.
of ways to win. That's the thing is like no matter what we say, it's more about being committed to a planned team build than it is anything that anybody says. Like you just got to be committed to a plan that you can build the team, the stadium, the manager settings around one plan.
I'll take the last of the major ratings, I think, which is pitcher power. Uh, I do love those big strikeout guys. I don't fully know it too. You don't like it because you have small stadiums, but pop-ups matter. Strikeouts matter, pop-ups matter too.
Yeah, yeah, they
We
do.
talked about it in one of the podcasts recently that
Yeah. Where I gave my little tip of the
I'm
year.
a um, uh, all right, so then we got all the other ratings. You were starting to talk about them.
I got
I'm
one.
not gonna we don't need to do all of them. Do you have another that you would consider important? Okay, what's your
Yeah, well,
the
I
last, these are
think
the
that
ones that are left. We've got contact left. We've got hold runner. We've got glove. We've got arm. I think everybody would agree that those are the least valuable of the ones. But you talk about it. Actually, one of those is a contact. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, contact's an interesting one. That I'm not picking that one, but we should do a show about contact because there's so much to dig into with the contact rating. Let's set that aside. Let's talk about contacts as a show
Put an
because
asterisk.
I think it would be really interesting for people to hear about contact. Um, no, I was going to say arm. I think arm is for a team with a low arm second baseman, especially, but also a shortstop and third baseman. They will be shocked watching play by play at how many double plays they don't get because of it. Um, and I say second baseman especially because he's usually the one turning the double play because normally they're coming from third base or shortstop. But if you have a high range second baseman, it can be just as bad with the shortstop if he can't turn those double plays. And then the third baseman in general, plays get beat out by short third baseman with low arm. And then also the most obvious is catcher. Catcher, it's the most important defensive stat. And with since you have speed on your team, I want to be able to throw those guys out. So I got to have a catcher with bazooka arm. So I think arm is the most underrated stat in the attribute in the game. Not saying it's on the same
Good
tier
call.
with the
Good
ones
call.
we talked about. I just think people dismiss it out of hand, and they shouldn't.
All right. I'm glad we're putting contact aside because I still don't know what to do with it. Sometimes I've avoided it for a long time, but I do think it works in conjunction with some of the other ratings. But I will
With
take.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I
Now
was
we're
gonna say I have recently been changing like contact. I'm so fearful of for a variety of reasons, but I've noticed with the guy that is low DI, low BA, but he is a high slugger. If he's a 95 contact, he's going to be a mess. But if he's plus 70, like that guy's going to hit bombs.
all right. We said we were gonna not talk about it, but
He
then we talked.
strikes out less. He strikes
All right,
out
I
less.
got two left.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Hold Runner, even though I'm never,
I've never even looked at it.
you've never looked at it. Oh, that's because you don't mess with speed. I don't ever draft by Hold Runner or anything like that. But Lord knows the other option is Glove, and I never ever ever pay attention to Glove. I do pay attention to Hold Runner when because of my interest in speed and going against other teams. And if there's a bunch of playoff pitchers that have really low hold runner and they haven't paid attention to their catcher, they can open themselves up, and it does pop up big because of the manager ratings that I'm playing with, I'll mess around with that steal rating all the time.
Mm.
Uh, but and glove again,
The fact you
maybe I
don't
pay
look
more
at
attention to it. I never pay attention to it until we're watching game view and a horrible error happens. Then I'll look and see that my gloves are awful.
I mean, the player that you and I have both played with, a guy from redraft called Privy Papa. Um, he had 99 range, but he had 36 glove. And the problem is he sucked in all these balls and then created all these errors.
I
And so
forgot about
like his
yeah.
blessing was his curse. And after that, I was like, man, I care about glove because in the playoffs, like he will lose you games.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm taking glove. So I'm taking glove.
Yeah. That was your last. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This was very unscientific. The people that are the numbers crunchers, I'd be curious to see what their actual value is. And you can define. We had the problem at the beginning. You can define this however you want.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about how
Just have fun with it.
what ratings people think are the most important.
My team is going to beat your team. You have
Uh,
no range, and you're just trying to hold runner. I got this one.
I got no range. Is that what
I
I
mean,
had to take something?
you're the one with the speed. Now you're trying to hold runner on me. I have no speed. Doesn't matter. I got BA. I'm spraying balls all over the place. I won this game.
No.
I accept your apology.
But
No
I
problem.
got the ace pitchers and I got the home run hitters. I got the slugging and the DI, which you already said you love those guys.
I do love those guys. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay, you win.
All right. We
You know
went
who
long.
really wins this podcast?
America.
Mike Schmidt.
All right.
Did he have a nickname?
I'm sure. Smitty.
Smitty.
Schmitty.
Yeah, see, like he's just so like here. No bad stories about him. He's just Mike Schmidt. All
All
right.
right.
All right. That's the podcast. Are you done? We're done. Whoa.
The
Kirk Gibson's
indication.
just floating there.
The indication that we're
How's
done.
that? How's that even possible? You showed your hand. That's like the boom mic coming into the screen. All right. That's it. We're out of here. I hope you had a great week in base hit as well. I want to say that I have saged my room because after going on that big run of World Series, I've 12 times in a row got bounced out of the playoffs, but I still have a bunch of great teams. So pray for me. Have me in your thoughts during this trying time. I need to win a World Series. Till next week. We're out of here.